Welcome to the Big Movement Podcast. If you're ready to create results and make huge strides in your business, finances, personal development, and health, then you're in the right place. Pushing past excuses and powering through procrastination can be a challenge alone. Here, you'll get the support, tools, and knowledge you need to get to the level you desire in your business and life. Let's get started with your host, Byron Ingram.
And welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today we're talking about why presentation matters in local business. You know, ultimately, every business owner wants to get found on search engines such as Google and Yahoo and Bing. But that's just the first step, because inviting those prospective customers inside of your business is something that's completely different and often forgotten about by many business owners. So let's think about this for a moment. While online marketing is powerful and it's a critical step that's a necessity in today's world, we have to go above and beyond this to ensure that people find what they're looking for. What I mean by that is, if they see a particular business online, that let's say a business has a beautiful, amazing website and it looks so great, it has this nice flow to it, everything inside of the business is the same thing. Otherwise, it's kind of like false advertising. And it begins with something simple. It's with proper signage. Because for a local business, you know, if someone's looking for a particular service, they want to be able to quickly find it. A prospect should not have to drive around in a parking lot, especially if it's a strip mall or something like that, looking for a business, wondering, where in the world is this place? Because if a prospect cannot see a sign clearly that states what your business is, what they're going to do. In most cases, unless you live in a small town where you're the only game in town, they're going to simply go back onto, let's say, Google, type that original search in, and go somewhere else. And this is exactly what happened to me today, because I'm looking for this one business. I thought, well, I want to use this service. And for the life of me, I couldn't find it. I drove around the parking lot several times. I looked back at Google Maps, like, well, it says it's right here. So then I had to drive extremely slow, looking at every single one of the windows trying to find it, and eventually I did. But the signage above that didn't match their service, so they probably had an old sign they didn't change. This business has been there for a while. So this is extremely important that signage matches things up, because if people can't find it in today's business world, guess what they're going to do? They're going to look for something else, because time is of a precious commodity. So we just want to make sure that it's found. Now, the next thing, which is critical, is that signage is getting people in your door. It's the presentation, the experience that people have. Because in our business environment today, we have high expectations, especially if images on a website depict something as extremely nice, clean, pleasant looking, like you have in your mind what an experience is going to be like. But if you walk in the door and you quickly realize the photos you saw didn't match up what you saw on the inside. This is why it's so important that you don't use stock photos to depict your business, because it's like, as a great example, dating. Imagine for a moment you sign up for a dating website and you look at someone's picture, think, oh man, she's hot, this is great, I can't wait to go meet her. And then you see her and you realize, oh, those pictures were from like high school 20 years ago. And your jaw just drops like, really? What the heck? So what do you do in this case? You leave, because your experience that you had in your mind is not what you actually got. So this is just another little caveat when you're marketing your business. Don't use stock photos. Use photos that depict your business. And if you think that, well, if we show the pictures, people are not going to want to come in, well, that's a different problem. That means you have to invest money in your business to create a pleasant environment that people want to be in. And it's just a necessity. We just can't assume that people are just going to like, well, I'm just going to go here and do this. Well, no, they're not. And the other thing that goes a step beyond this is customer service. Because customer service is vital. Because think about how many times you didn't get the service you wanted and you thought, oh, screw this, and you were out of there. So if you have a business and that's what was taking place, well, you need to make sure that people are feeling welcome. So in this particular instance, when I walked in, there was not a receptionist. I thought, well, that's a little odd. Maybe the person's, not here. So I'm waiting a minute, and there's no one who's coming up there to help. The people helping someone in the far back of the room walked in the door. They didn't acknowledge I was there. I thought, wow, this is sad, because that business just lost out. And because we have to remember, we live in a world where we have social media influencers. So all it takes is one bad review and another and another. And of course, when a review is honest, it's what influences people's decision whether they want to go there or not. And when it comes to customer service, we all have high expectations of what we want to experience. So when a business doesn't have just exceptional customer service, it's a death blow, because you could have everything right, the most amazing website, you can have the best sign, you can have the best looking building, but if people don't feel like they're valued when they walk in the door, they leave. They don't come back. And that's what will kill any business in today's world. Because you have to remember, no business can act like they're the only game in town. Because it doesn't matter if it's a small town or not. If people don't feel like they're welcomed and they want to spend their money there, they will drive any distance to go and do something. You might think, well, no, they wouldn't. I'll give you a great example. This is several years ago, like when I was still in the Air Force. And in the town I lived in, they didn't have an Olive Garden or a couple restaurants like that for the longest time. And you had opponents like, oh no, we don't want that here. We want people to just continuously eat at the mom and pop type shops. We don't want to take away that business. But what the people didn't realize was that of where it was, in a town that was maybe 40 minutes to the north, on a regular basis, sometimes even daily, you would find people who would drive that 40-minute drive just to go to an Olive Garden. So that shows you, it doesn't matter where you are. If people want something bad enough, they don't care. They're going to drive that distance so they can get what they want. So when it comes to a small business, you can't assume that people are just going to use you because you're the only game in town, because I guarantee you they're not. And especially in a larger city when there's other choices within a 10-minute drive, they're going to go there. So what I want you to take away as a lesson from this is make sure that when you are putting together your business with a local business, ensure that it's a seamless courtship, that people see who you are online. They have this great expectation. They can easily find your business. And when they walk in the door, they're welcomed with open arms, because when you do that, guess what they do? They tell their friends about it. They do live streams. They do all these things to bring their sphere of influence into those doors. So do me a favor. Go ahead and like this podcast episode and click on that share button, because there's someone out there who needs to hear this message to help them grow their business today.
Thanks for listening to the Big Movement Podcast today. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now that you've surely been inspired to take your entrepreneurial career and business to the next level, you can stop by the website and get more. And if you're ready to boost your business brand, be sure to grab your free report, 7 Easy Steps to Build Your Brand Today.